Hi guys! So today we're gonna make this rice paper wrap thingy that I saw made by this content creator on TikTok for lunch. And we're gonna have some real talk. I wanna say one thing before you watch this. This video reeks, okay? It stinks of privilege. And I'm aware of that. And obviously, like my title entails, I don't have a job, but I am fortunate to where I can still have a roof over my head and food at my table, right? So I'm aware, and originally I wasn't gonna make this video because I was like, in this time with all these crazy layoffs and stuff, this probably isn't the right video to make. But I didn't want the fear of mean comments or being judged to stop me from being honest and vulnerable on this channel. So I kind of decided, you know what? I want to tell my story and I want to get personal on this channel. So I'm okay if it seems a little insensitive because I still think this is something I really want to share with all of my viewers. So anyway, let's get started. I haven't prepped anything, so I'm gonna actually prep the insides. She uses cabbage, tofu, and avocado and rice paper, and that's it. So that's what we're gonna start with. So the last 2.5 years were a really dark time for me. Multiple aspects, but I'll kind of speak to it from a personal level as well as a professional level. First, I'll talk about from the personal side why it was so hard. In my family, I was in a position where I had to bear a lot of burden. And I was in a season of like complete depletion, exhaustion. So basically, I bore a lot of burden for my family because I was kind of the sole, like, emotional, like financial, social, like manager, I guess, of my family. And basically throughout the season, a lot of the financial, I don't know, just like logistical, taking care of the household, cooking, grocery shopping, cleaning, just, you know, responding to our friends, you know, whatever it was, like any type of just what it takes to live a normal life. And all that burden kind of fell on me to handle all by myself. So at first, I think for the first year or so, I didn't realize how hard of a time I was having. I just thought, like, I don't know, sometimes I feel like when you're in a situation that's really hard and you're like a very solution-oriented person, you're just kind of like in go mode and just like, okay, well, this is what you're supposed to do. But I think after maybe a little less than a year, I realized like this is really hard and, you know, I'm not okay. But I was still able to lead a fairly normal life, but like not behind the scenes, right? And I also, like, this wasn't a situation where like family or friends could help that much because there's really nothing anyone can do. I think the only real time I reached out to anybody for help was there was a point where I was just like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. Like I genuinely was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it. So I have two sisters and I called them and they like literally booked a flight for like the following week or something like that, and just flew in just to like be with me and just like hang out with me. And so, because I was so depleted, like it was to the point where sometimes we have our suitcases laid out in our bedroom, and I would just like look at my suitcase and just stare at it and be like, should I just pack up and run away to like a new city where no one knows me and just start over? Like, yeah, it was hard. But it was a really lonely and exhausting time. You know what? This video is just very therapeutic. So yeah, it was hard, and just to kind of bear all the burdens by myself, but got through it, and yeah, it was a tough season. So that was my life on the personal side, just complete depletion and still trying to be like a normal human in society and function. So yeah, it was not an easy season at all. I think the hard thing was that I'm actually a pretty mentally strong person, and I think the hard part was wondering like if this season would ever be over, or if it's just gonna, like, if always like the burden or whatever just will land on me. And that was a really like scary and daunting thought. So I think it made it worse. So that was my personal life. And then in my professional life, I was working for a great company and, was getting paid well, etc. But my specific situation was very unhealthy and honestly pretty toxic. And like it was to the point where I was losing sleep. My professional life, I've been very used to intense atmosphere. So even though the work was heavy, like that's not what was hard. It was just the toxicity. And tastes good. And I was there for many years. The good seasons were good, but essentially the toxicity was always there. And finally, it got to a point where I was losing sleep. Like, sure, everyone gets Sunday scaries, but this level of Sunday scaries was a whole nother level to me. I probably didn't have like a good night of sleep for a long, long time while working here. Probably the stress of like my personal life issues mixed with just like the heaviness of my job as well, and the toxicity at my job. Like I was definitely losing sleep. I like, this is very TMI, but like my female cycle was doing like the craziest shit like I had never seen before. Like just like the weirdest symptoms, and like it was just really bizarre. And I probably should have left sooner, but because I liked the company and I liked the people, like I tried to justify the toxicity a little bit. But yeah, so I stayed there for a while, but looking back, I probably should have left sooner. I mean, if I was having so many like meltdowns and personal life and professional life, I was so depleted. And I'm not even like telling you guys like some of the details here. Like it's looking back, I'm like, I don't know how I made it through all of that. But and on top of this was like still COVID years. So like the world is unknown and people are dying. So yeah, it was a really weird and difficult time. But in this season where life was hard, the thing that would give me so much joy and peace, and I would just like forget about how hard everything was making videos. And my videos would get like, I don't know, like 30 views, but it didn't matter because I was still having so much fun. So any chance I got, I would try to make a video and like spend some time editing it over the weekend or overnight, etc., just because it gave me so much joy. So that's kind of where I was at. So I prepped all of the tofu, the cabbage, and the avocado, and now we're just making the wraps. So fast forward to about late last year, things were starting to look up in my personal life. I think we were in a place where I didn't have to bear all of the burdens by myself, and things were definitely starting to look more promising. But one day at work, just had another really toxic incident happen, and probably had my 30th, 20th meltdown to my husband. And basically decided this is not sustainable. So my husband and I talked about, okay, can I look for a new job? What that could look like if I looked for a new job. And as some of you may know, looking for a new job is also a second job in itself. And I was not in the mental headspace to do that. So we both kind of mutually decided okay, we can make it work with just one income. So let's just have me quit without any other job lined up, and I can look for a job afterward. So at first, I was going to just quit and then slowly look for, and then just immediately jump into job search and starting to see kind of what else is out there. But once I gave notice and I just kind of prayed and was like, man, God, I need a break. I just need to be able to breathe after the last couple of years. And kind of prayed for just that time. And that was in itself a really tough decision, because we had a lot of plans for us where we were thinking about doing some house projects, and our house is old and we were going to do some renovations, and as well as we were thinking about starting a family. But ultimately decided, and so I was really struggling, should I? No, I should go into the job search. I should not take a break. We are in a season where we want to do a lot of things, but ultimately decided, you know what? I need this break. And in order to keep myself mentally healthy and sane, I owe this to myself. And just really meditated on it and prayed about it and felt like this was the right decision. You guys, I have no idea if I'm doing this right. This might taste freaking weird. Also, this rice paper I think might be a little stale, so so ultimately decided to kind of push out, whatever family planning, whatever house stuff, whatever other big things that we had planned that would require a lot more finances. And that was a really tough decision. I was like, man, I am gonna regret this, just given the job market. What are my parents gonna say? They're immigrants, small business owners. They didn't know about taking breaks. They didn't even have the opportunity or the privilege to be able to do that. They were always go, go, go in survival mentality mode. Who am I? Who do I think I am to be able to deserve this break, right? I felt a lot of guilt and anxiety in this decision, but ultimately, I have just been in heaven. And I kind of thought through what I wanted to do with my time on my break. And I mentioned, I really enjoyed making videos. So I was like, you know what? I just want to make videos and have fun and not worry about anything. And gosh, it's been so yes, the lack of money coming in is a concern, but overall, my happiness, you guys, I don't think I felt this happy since I was a little kid. Full transparency. And I just feel so fortunate and lucky that I was able to do this. Even before we think about all the other adult stuff that we need to do. Yes, I have a tendency to think worst case scenario, like, oh my gosh, what if the world ends, or what if there's a war and like we have no money and I haven't been working and I've just like I'm more than I realize. I am much more wired that way. So I was very worried, but guys, I haven't been this happy in so long, and it's been amazing. And it's only been like a couple, maybe a few weeks now. And so, but then literally the minute I left my other job, I got a message from someone I used to work with saying like, hey, if you're looking, there's an opening on our team that you would be great for. So like, let me know if you're interested. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I wasn't even looking and this opportunity comes, like I can't not take it. Like in this season, like what? I can't. So I was like, oh, absolutely, I'm interested, and did the interview, and obviously seems like a lot of opportunity, a lot of exciting things happening there. And so I was like, okay, should I, what do I do? And I don't want to take this for granted. But there was this like tiny voice in my head just saying like, just enjoy this season and just trust that it'll all work out. And again, I talked to my husband about it and was like, I have been feeling like I shouldn't take this opportunity and still like enjoy this break. And there was a part of me that I thought he would think I was crazy, but he was super supportive. I've truly felt like I've been living in heaven the last few weeks. I feel so thankful. So I want to say, if you are also in a tough season, that that it'll pass. There's an end to every hard season. Personally, I wanted to thank you if you are subscribed to this channel. I think there's like 670 of you guys, because honestly, I would have still had such a blissful and amazing time the last few weeks with my usual 30 views. But yeah, this I've been gaining more views, I've been gaining more subscribers, and on TikTok and on Instagram and on here, and it's just super encouraging because I'm having fun, and I'm nowhere near making money off of videos, but it's just been so nice to, see that people do like what I'm putting out there, even though I'm not a super good video maker yet. But so yeah, I personally just wanted to say thank you and have some real talk today. I've made 7 of these total. Now let's go fry them on the pan, and I will confirm if it's good or not. All right, I already tried it. It's pretty good. It can be a little bit bland, so I made like sriracha mayo and then a soy sauce thing to dip it in. Also, I didn't wrap it very tight, but let's see. The hubby says it's better with the soy sauce, so let's try it like that. That's really good. If you're looking for a very simple, easy meal, I would recommend. Oh, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're not. Bye.